Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name is Noah Outlaw. I am one of your hosts, as always, and as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my man? Hey, my favorite words, or maybe not my favorite words, the most nerve-wracking, like exciting words that I can think of right now.
What?
Win and you're in.
Yeah,
Win and you're in.
and you're in is
Holy
the
shit!
theme of this week. And it's
Holy
terrifying.
shit! Recording Friday, January 5th, 2024, and the Houston Texans are in contention for
Yes, they are. They're in contention for a wild card playoff spot, and also somehow the division. The AFC South is
like
still up for grabs.
no, I mean not just a fucking seventh or maybe even the 60th, but like we could, if things go our way after
Mhm.
this weekend, we could be in fourth seed, have a fucking playoff home game next
Yeah,
weekend. Who
yeah,
knows? Who knows?
absolutely. Which is mind blowing to say. I mean, we preach this all the time, but going into this season, saying that this team could make the playoffs, as a Texans fan, some of us might have said it, but it was definitely never a serious thought. It was never
I don't know.
the
I don't
Texans
know.
make the playoffs. It'd be like, haha, yeah, no, hey, yeah, all right. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like your energy.
I like the enthusiasm. Yeah, I like the positivity. But I don't know. I feel like you and I, what we have, like
Yeah,
this
no,
thing
yeah.
going on. I
This
feel like when
works.
we were like, this is a playoff team. I think we were like, no, fuck no. We just blew out the Steelers.
Yeah.
We're good.
Well, that
You know,
in that time for sure, but going like from the off season going into in the preseason going into week
oh,
one, it was like
yeah, no.
if you said that, you were
Yeah,
out of
no,
your
I
mind.
was just hoping for 7 wins. I was just
Exactly,
hoping
that
to
was the ceiling.
double our win count.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the
I was.
ceiling for a lot of people. And then, but then you mentioned the Steelers game. I think that was the moment where we kind of all were like, "Oh, wait, hold on a second. This is not a 6-win team. This is not a 7-win team." Coming off that blowing out the Jaguars, basically going against the Steelers team, who at that time early in the season had some hype around them. Kenny Pickett was kind of being looked at as, let's see what he can do. The defense was super hot. T.J.
Yeah,
Watt, all those guys on that side of the ball. Going into that game, it was a big test for Stroud. It was a big test for the Texans, a big test for D'Amico, and they've passed with flying colors. And I think that was the turning point. Like, oh shit, this team is for real. This team could be playing for a playoff spot.
yeah, and I know we had a few tough losses after that, but then they
Yeah,
just bring it right around with that 3-game winning streak after the bye.
yeah,
Or game after the bye with the Bucks, crazy 5 touchdown performance from Stroud to win the game. Then after that, the Bengals winning on the road against like people were considering the Bengals like this like a Super Bowl favorite
yeah.
around that time because they had
Mhm.
just been fresh blowing out the 49ers and the Bills, going to Cincinnati, beat them, and
Yep.
then come back and win against who was the Cardinals? I think Cardinals. Yeah, it sounds like
Saints, maybe.
Arizona Cardinals after that. So that 3-game winning streak when we became 6-4, I think was like
Yeah,
we're already like right around like where we wanted to be before the season started.
yeah.
And
The Texans had some
we
early.
have so much to
Yeah,
go.
the Texans had some early success. Dropped some really stupid games to the Falcons and the Panthers, which kind of seemed like we're coming down to earth a little bit. But like you mentioned, those Tampa Bay, the Bengals beat the Saints, beat the Cardinals. It was like we're kind of going through that time of the schedule. Like, okay, this team. It was just they were building every week, getting better, getting better. You saw the rookies getting
They're
better. I
still
mean,
finding,
Stroud's been
yeah,
coming out
they're still
hot.
finding their shit. Yeah,
Yeah, and like Will Anderson was still kind of getting his footing, and now he's a beast. Last week had fucking 2 sacks on 12 snaps in that game and
man.
7 pressures, and all of it leads
Seven
up.
pressures in more than half of your snaps
Yeah,
is
it's insane.
wild. That's insane. And I think I saw earlier. I think our run defense ranks third
Yeah.
in the league,
Mhm.
which that's never been like that.
Mm-mm.
Our run
Nope.
defense has always like had holes. Like they showed it against Derrick Henry.
Well, look what
He
they did
runs
to Derek.
for
Yeah, look what they did to Derek, our boogeyman, for both
yeah,
games this year. Just shut
yeah.
him down completely.
turned him into a shell of himself. He
Yeah,
usually runs for 2 billion yards. He ran for like maybe a combined like 50 yards in those
yeah,
2 games.
yeah,
And I mean, just the front seven is just kind of clicking. You
yeah.
know, obviously they've had problems at the beginning of the season. And I think I wrote about it before the season started. The front seven will be tested. Well,
Mhm.
they've been tested, but at the same time, they've overcome the adversity. They've overcome injuries, and they're all of the guys are contributing. They're playing lights
Yeah,
out. That's probably going forward against the Colts tomorrow. That's probably going to be the key of the game. Front seven needs to play their asses off, dude.
yeah,
Need to pressure.
yeah.
Like, and I know they
Absolutely.
can.
Hmm.
I know they
Well,
can because they've shown that they can.
not 2 weeks ago we had 7 sacks, so it's like let's keep that energy. Obviously, we're missing some pieces, which we'll get into here in a minute. But even without some of these pieces on that front seven, Will Anderson's obviously, like we just mentioned a minute ago, is coming into his own as one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. Also, a guy who's been an absolute
I think I
fucking
know what you're about to say.
madman,
I know what you're about to say.
Christian Harris, has been an absolute
Okay.
madman the last couple of weeks. Who are you thinking?
There's so many names that we
Yeah,
could just be like, oh. But
yeah.
I was gonna say Derek Barnett, dude.
Oh, Derek's been great too. No,
Dog,
Derek's was a
dog.
phenomenal waiver wire pickup. That was phenomenal.
I mean,
Um,
that was just like that, some people were like, that was the kind of guy that you get up from the waiver, and some people ask you like, is that a good pickup?
yeah,
And then like I know we were like, yeah,
yeah, well,
that's
that's
really
going to
good.
be
Like
good. Yeah,
that's a guy who won a Super Bowl. You know,
yeah.
like that's a
Desmond
great
King.
pickup.
Desmond King's another
Desmond
guy
King.
who wasn't on the team. I
He
mean,
started. He wasn't on the roster beginning of the
no,
year.
he wasn't, which is wild because he's been productive for us, and then he ended up getting cut. But then we signed him back on, and he's been a huge part of that defense and special teams. And there's just a bunch of different guys. Jonathan Grenard's been having a great season. He's sitting at 12 and a half sacks, career high for him. Uh, and to get into some of the not great stuff about this game coming up against the Colts, Jonathan Grenard will be out. Um, he didn't practice all week. He's dealing with his injury still. He got banged up pretty bad so in that Browns game, which it was probably my least favorite Texans game in a while.
I
Um,
don't know. I think the Jets was
Jets was tough
pretty
too, but
bad.
Browns just felt, yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it, but
The Jets was like Zach Wilson is doing what
yeah,
against
true.
us? Like
At least it was
Joe
Joe
Flacco, I'm
Flacco.
like, all right, yeah, he's been doing that against everyone. But I'm
Yeah,
like, the who? Zach Wilson is whiting right now. He's
yeah,
fucking cooking right now. Oh man, I
yeah.
don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
no,
You're right. But that
losing.
Browns game sucked, and obviously there was a lot of injuries in both of those games. The Jets one too. Obviously Stroud goes down. Will got hurt, but so Grenard will not be playing. His presence will be missed. But we should have Malik Collins and Sheldon Rankins both back, so that'll be a big deal.
Yeah,
But and then also on the offensive side of the ball, we won't have Noah Brown, who's been one of the, I don't want to say super reliable. He's been more of a boomer bust
one of the
player, but
biggest,
when he booms, he really booms.
one of the better surprises, I'd say.
Yeah,
He's been a great surprise, you know, because we got Noah Brown. We are like, I don't even know. People have been telling us he's bad. You
yeah,
know, Dallas fans are like, no, he's bad. So good luck with him. But then he's shown up in big moments this season. You know, he hasn't had a
absolutely.
lot. He hasn't had a ton, but he's
Mhm.
had a lot of big moments, and like the touchdown against the Titans from Case
Yeah.
Keenum. You
Hmm.
know, that's a big moment this season. That was
Yeah.
a season saving moment.
Well,
So
yeah,
he's been one of
he's
the
been
bigger
very clutch
surprises.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah, very clutch. That's a good word. Yeah, well said. I mean, so not having him is, yeah, that's ass. That sucks for sure.
Hmm.
You know, it's definitely not the boost you wanted going into this game for the offense.
No. I mean, and thing about Noah Brown is he, in a post Tank Dell world for the Texans, right? And in those couple weeks where Nico Collins wasn't able to go, he was a guy that we looked at. He said, "Hey, this is a guy. He's probably going to be the most. Him or Robert Woods are probably the best wide receivers we have available today. Let's see what they can do." And Noah Brown, you mentioned the Titans touchdown, which was huge, needed to win that. Like absolutely, that was a dire needed win, and he came through for us. And then no, he's just been whenever we need him to show up, he shows up. In that Buccaneers game, I think was that the game where he had like 170 fucking yards. Like
Yeah, and then I mean, yeah, he had 170 that game or 160 something, and then the next game against the Bengals had 170 again.
yeah,
Like he
exactly.
was two
So
consecutive
he's
huge
been there
games.
for us. He's come through, and
Yeah.
it sucks to not have him out on the field. But luckily, CJ Stroud's number one receiver, Nico Collins, is going to be out there, and he's someone that we're going to be looking at a lot.
Yeah, definitely. The not not having, like you said, Brown and fucking Tank Dell, which is still stinging till
Yeah.
this point in the season. Nico will get a lot of attention from Stroud and the defense.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, there's gonna have to be a guy that's needs to step up as a two. Whether it be Robert Woods or even maybe Mechie can
Yeah.
kind of help steer the ship right and save the
Well,
season. Or
I do want to make note of this. Robert Woods also did not practice all week, but is listed as questionable when Noah Brown and Jonathan Grenard, who also didn't practice all week, were just immediately ruled out. They no question about it, ruled out. Robert Woods
yeah,
is the guy that we're gonna have to keep our eye on because we're gonna need him out there. And I think he goes. I think he's a
he
veteran
goes.
receiver. I think he goes. I think any of the guys that are questionable will play. I think that's why they
Yeah,
went out of their way to say that Grenard and Noah Brown are out. Because if you're in right now, the guys who are questionable, excuse me while I look it up. Will Anderson is questionable. Robert Woods is questionable. Andrew Beck questionable. Mully Collins questionable. Sheldon Rankin's questionable, and Laramie Thompson questionable. I think all of
I,
those
I
guys
got.
go.
I figure almost most of them, or maybe all of them, the guys are questionable will play.
Yeah.
There was just kind of it was a it was a shorter week. Obviously, we one less day of practice, so they got kind of a rest week. Not really, I wouldn't say a rest week. They're probably still obviously going through film and all that,
Mhm.
and some drills, but resting their bodies because we need fresh bodies out there for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why, and guys who are actually, not to say that none of them are injured. None of those guys are injured. They're all probably banged up in some fashion. But Jonathan Grenard and Noah Brown are probably like, oh yeah, no, they're for sure not. I mean, they're really banged up. They're not going to play.
Mhm.
But the other guys, like you said, Robert Woods and all them, some of them are vets
Yeah.
and they've been playing all year pretty much. And I know for a fact that I don't know for a fact, but in my head, Robert Woods is good to go. I mean, he's a veteran. Like
He is.
he
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
need
going to be
all the
out there.
practice
Also,
time.
they know the importance of this game. They know. Look. Sorry, if Will's ankle hurts a little bit, you got to go. You got to go out there. I'm sorry, you just do. And I, it's not. And I know that's probably their mindset as well. I'm not saying that's not what they're thinking, but that's just the nature of this time of the year. Everyone's hurting. Everyone's banged up. If you can
Yeah.
go, you will go. If you're sore, I get it. Um, but it's just I think that's the mindset in the locker room right now. I want to talk about this, and Garrett, I have mine already, but I want you to pick one while I talk about mine. Is the X factor on the offensive side of the ball? Um,
Okay.
not the X factor as in obviously CJ Stroud, right? But who's someone that you're looking to that maybe you don't look at every week, but this week you're like, this guy's got to step up. And I have
I know what you're gonna
mine.
say. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say Xavier Hutchinson. Yeah.
I thought you're gonna, because all right, I have mine, but
All right. Well,
go
let me
ahead.
talk
Go ahead.
about Hutch real quick because here's the deal. You liked him a little bit more than I did coming out of the draft. And I have liked overall kind of what I've seen from him, but it has not been much. He hasn't been brought into the game plan as much as I was kind of hoping to see. But this is the week, right? Where look, we got to put everything out on the table. We got to put all of our tools on the table. Hutch is a tool. Hutch is built like a brick shit house. He's huge and he's quick, speedy guy. We've had him coming out of the backfield this season. He's a guy who does, and look, I love Mechie. I don't think Mechie's there yet. I think he's still getting back to football shape, which is obvious. That's expected, understandable. But I don't think he's a guy that we're comfortable with relying on right now. But Hutch is a guy. It's like, hey, all right, man, look, you're a fifth, sixth round guy. This is a big moment for you. We're gonna get you involved, and you step up or you don't. And I think he's a guy who is capable of getting shit done and being a game changer. So I think I'm expecting a day from Hutch. Like I think Hutch is going to be very involved in the offense.
That'd be really nice because I was big on Hutch when we drafted him. I thought he was going to be a steal. Maybe not this year because he's going to be buried. We all knew he was going to be buried on the depth chart. And I
Yeah,
thought maybe towards the end of the season, here now, he would start showing up a little bit more, get involved in the game plan. But circumstances have led us to like a shit fuck end of the season where most of the guys are injured. CJ was injured, and
yeah,
it was just, it was fuckery for sure.
hmm
But like you said, huge moment. This could be his moment. He's had a few. He's had I think one big play against the Jaguars, which almost ultimately ended up helping us win that game or tying it up at least.
yeah,
But when he gets the ball in his hand, like as a running back, or like when he takes handoffs,
hmm
he makes plays.
he
He
does.
makes
Yeah,
plays on the field.
when he
So
has the
if
ball
we
in his
just
hands, it's exciting to see.
yeah, so if we just figure out how to get the ball in his hands, get him involved, mix him in, he is a mismatch.
Yeah,
I mean, I really do think he could have a big game. Like he could be an X factor for sure. I
hmm
really hope so because, like I said, we need someone to step up other than like Devin Singletary, Nico Collins, and like Dalton Schultz. Like
hmm
one of those supporting cast guys need to like have like a bigger game than usual.
I think
And
I know who you think I was going to say.
who, dude? I mean,
Is that who you're
I
about to
think
say too?
I think that you think I knew. I was gonna say
Yeah,
Brevin.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say Brevin Jordan as well. Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
think.
Brevin. I mean, when he gets the ball in his hands, dude, he's a freak.
hmm
He gets the ball in his hands. He's a freak. He's big.
Yeah,
He's fast. He can cut. He can make cuts on a dime, like a running back, or a
yeah,
receiver, which is pretty wild for a guy his size.
yeah,
I think if you design some plays where Brevin Jordan gets the ball, like for that RPO or whatever it was, that touchdown that he
yeah,
had against the Titans. It was obviously he was in the flats, kind of came out, he's open. CJ threw it to him, got it, and it was a design play to him, and he
yeah,
was able to score. He was almost untouched going in the end
hmm
zone.
yeah,
You can do more like that with Brevin Jordan, some like gadget, design plays to him, where he like lines up, as a halfback or fullback or outside or as tight end. I
right.
feel like you can do some exciting things with him, and I think he is ready to emerge as like, oh man, Brevin's a guy we can count on. I think
Yeah,
he is just right there. I think he's right there. I
I
think
think so
Brevin
too.
Jordan would be a guy to watch, especially because Dalton Schultz will get a lot of attention. Nico Collins will get a lot of attention. We need another pass catcher to come up big, and I think the next best mismatch that we have, other than like Hutch, like you said, what is Brevin Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Brevin is another guy I totally agree with. I think he is a playmaker. I think he's electric when the ball's in his hands, kind of like what we were saying about Xavier Hutchinson. Brevin's more proven too. I mean, Brevin. I hope to see him. I love where when they had him lining up at fullback and shit. I think that's
Yeah,
amazing. I think that's incredible. I think because
it's pretty smart.
he's not a he's a bigger guy, but he's not huge. But so I like that positioning for him. I like him, and I just think it's a very there's a lot of different things you can do with him. So I love that. I really hope to see Brevin more involved. I want to talk about the coaching aspect of this game because I said it on Play Action Takes, our NFL wide podcast, and after that I've seen this kind of narrative shared. Mina Kimes was talking about it earlier on ESPN, and we shared the exact same sentiments that this is the Coach of the Year bowl. I think wholeheartedly. I think
Yeah,
Shane Steichen and D'Amico Ryans, whoever wins this game, whoever turns their team around so much from what the Texans definitely were last year and the Colts haven't been much, to get them in the playoffs to be a double-digit win team, like 10 wins, that a double-digit win team, that's a phenomenal year in the NFL. That's a great
yeah.
year in the NFL. So I think, and I just think going after this game, I think we'll see on those odds, on the odds predictors for the Vegas, whatever, wherever you bet. I think Coach of the Year, the favorite, will go to the winner of this game.
Yeah, no, I've said it before on different shows. Go subscribe for our other NFL takes, NFL wide takes on play action takes and all that. Um, I think like other guy like a Dan Campbell might have it locked up. But if they start looking at like the odds will definitely change after this game because one of these guys they're going to the playoffs. One of these
Yeah.
guys are going to the playoffs and they're going to complete like a full uh, rebuild turnaround of like going from a shit fuck cock ass and balls team to playoff team, nice.
Yeah.
Like in the span of 1 year, which is incredible to do. So you're absolutely right. I think whoever wins this game maybe will won't be the first in odds. Will be right up there with like Dan Campbell and all them,
Yeah.
and like should be considered
Yeah.
like for coach of the year. Should be
Absolutely.
because like I mean the other teams are very good talent wise. You know,
Mhm.
roster wise, they're very good. Like you said, I think yesterday, the Lions were 9-8 last year.
Yeah.
You know, we
That's why
the
I don't
both the
think
Colts.
Dan Campbell gets it. I think
Yeah,
I think everyone knows that Coach of the Year award is a turnaround award, right? It's who fixed an awful situation the most, right? And I don't think anyone in the league. I don't care if you say it's Shane Steichen. I don't care if you say it's definitely not Dan Campbell. I don't even think Kevin Stefanski, who has done a phenomenal job with the Browns team, but that defense is out of its fucking mind. And
very
none of those guys had to deal with what D'Amico dealt with how
no,
bad the team was for the past 3 years, the roster that he was given. I mean, look at the draft. I mean, that goes to Caserio as well. But the Texans had what will go down as an all-time draft. Tank Dell,
absolutely.
Will Anderson, and C.J. Stroud. Not to mention all the other guys in the later rounds like Henry Toa, Jarrett Patterson, like Juice Scruggs. Not to mention those guys, but those big three names that I just said: Tank Dell, Will Anderson, C.J. Stroud. Those guys are going to be dominating the league for years to come, and all those guys coming within the first 3 rounds of one draft is ridiculous. And
Yeah,
so all this new era of Texans football is so drastically different from past seasons that I think D'Amico Ryans is absolutely should be a shoe in for it. That's my thought process behind it.
yeah,
And I know
but
that's not how everyone else thinks, but
if I think he's a shoe in if he wins. I think
yes.
he's a shoe in if he wins because here's the deal: if Shane Steichen wins this game and goes to the playoffs,
Hmm.
I think ultimately he deserves Coach of the Year. Just a
Yeah,
little bit over
yeah, I
D'Amico,
agree.
right?
I agree.
Because
That's
I
why I
mean, it's
think the
not
winner of
like
this one.
he's done a better job. He's done a slightly better job. He got his team in the playoffs, but Miko is right there. Miko is right there.
Yeah,
Which can we just take a step back and just appreciate like this cornerstone coaching staff that we have now?
yeah,
Like it's the
it's
culture
phenomenal.
that D'Amico's built all year long and his coaching staff is nuts. I mean, it's nuts. And now that ownership is completely bought in to this of it's actually hilarious when you give the fans what they want and you just be,
Hmm.
oh shit, I lucked into like a fucking good team. Oh,
Yeah,
you know, like it's hilarious how you do that. So everyone's bought into Miko, like everyone, ownership, front office, players, coaching staff, they're all bought into D'Amico. And
yeah,
if he wins, he should win Coach of the Year. He
yeah,
should. So
absolutely.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
woo, it's a lot riding.
because
It's
if
a
the
lot
Colts come
riding
in
on this
and
game.
win, if the Colts come in and win this game, I agree. Shane Steichen needs to get it. The Colts being 10-7 with all the adversity they've had with AR going down week 2 or 3 or whatever it was, absolutely. But I think D'Amico going 10-7 in the year, making it into the playoffs and going on
Absolutely.
hopefully some sort of run. You know, who knows what happens when we get in, but or if we get in. But I think D'Amico, if that happens, should absolutely win it, and I think he's definitely the best new coach in all of the NFL, just because you talk about the culture too. And I can't wait. If the Texans win this game, I can't wait to see that D'Amico Ryan's locker room, speech after. Those are always
Oh man,
those just get me
stop,
so
stop, stop,
jacked.
stop, stop! I'm gonna bust, dude. I'm gonna bust on camera. Before we give scores and predictions,
Yeah,
let's quickly talk about the scenarios that could happen with the
yeah,
Texans, the playoff scenarios. So obviously, one, lose. That's done.
yeah,
That's curtains. GG's.
hmm yeah,
If the Steelers win the game before us against the Ravens, very possible Lamar Jackson is sitting along with other starters because they
yeah,
already locked up one seed.
hmm
If the Steelers win and the Dolphins win the next night, and we win, the Texans will be the sixth seed
yeah,
rather than the seventh seed.
yeah,
If the Texans win, Ravens win, I'm fucking confusing myself already, dude. It's fucking wild.
Basically, look, here's if the Texans get the 6th seed, they'll play the Chiefs, I believe, in the first round, which
Yes,
is
I think they have three
uh,
seed locked up. So
yeah,
I mean,
they're for sure in. So if the Texans get the 6th seed, they play the Chiefs,
yes.
which is terrifying. That's extremely
I'm not
terrifying.
gonna lie. I like playing the Chiefs. I do. I genuinely think
I
like
don't
we could
know how I
win
feel
in
about
Kansas
it
City.
yet. I don't
I feel
know.
like we could win. Our defense is, I think,
Yeah.
would give Patrick Mahomes fits. I
I
think
think
so.
we would too. But the name that you just said is just always going to scare me. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
I know, but this
uh,
is a different kind of team. This is a different
it
team that we
is.
like.
It absolutely is. But the Chiefs, especially when you get into January, they know how to win. But you're right. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
And then or it'll be either them or the Browns or the Bills is what it's looking
Yes,
like.
because if the Jaguars lose and we win, we win the division. We take fourth seed. So that means we will be playing the fifth seed, hosting the Cleveland Browns, which we've seen that before.
Without CJ Stroud, but
We know how
still,
good they are. We know
yeah,
how good they are, but at the same time, like you're about to say, we had no CJ Stroud.
yeah,
We had no we had no Will Anderson. We had no
yeah,
Blake Cashman.
mhm,
So I mean that like it's gonna be a different matchup completely.
yeah,
And if we get seventh seed, which is just winning and losing the division, and the
yeah,
Steelers lose, uh, the Bill and whoever wins the Bills and Dolphins matchup, we will be playing.
yeah.
So, would you rather play the Bills or the Dolphins
I don't
in
want to play the
Buffalo? Or
Bills. I don't want to play the
I
Bills.
mean, like they're both really good.
Yeah, they are. I
They're
think out
both
of all
very
those, you're
good.
right. I think I want to play the Chiefs. I think I'd rather,
I would
yeah,
rather play the Chiefs out of all those teams. I'd rather play the Chiefs
because
in
it would
Kansas City.
also be just really good exposure for the team, and just like it's good experience. Like it's like good. It's for them to go to Kansas City into Kansas City. All these rookies and under the look, the Chiefs in the playoffs is the brightest the lights get in this modern day NFL. The Chiefs in the playoffs, playing in front of most likely Taylor Swift, like it's going to be a huge media thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Swifty
exactly.
game, Taylor Swift game,
Yeah,
bro. With
exactly. So
she's
it's
gonna
going
wear
to
a
be
CJ Stroud
huge.
jersey.
And
She's gonna wear
and
a CJ
I
Stroud
would
jersey.
love to. I think you're right. I think I want to play the Chiefs because I don't want to play
I
the Browns. I don't want to play the Browns. They're the fucking team of destiny right now. I don't want to play the Browns. I don't want to play the Bills. They're hot. I don't want to play the Dolphins. Their offense is fucking terrifying. So I'm with
yeah.
you.
I mean,
Let's go. Let's
you
root for
think
the
about
6th seed. Let's root for the Chiefs in the first round.
yeah. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for us to somehow get that sixth seed. Will be we need some help along the way, but at the end of the day, I just really want to win and get in, no matter what.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what seeding we are. Just watching the Texans in the playoffs would be incredibly special this year.
it would.
So
Yeah, it would. It would be amazing, and it just would be watching CJ Stroud in the playoffs as a rookie would be. Even if
nutty.
we lose first round for a first round exit, I don't care. Seeing that happen would be, and also having that 10-7 record. 10-7 looks way better than
It
nine and
looks
eight.
good. That's a
It does.
good record.
Yeah,
It's
it's really
a
good.
good record.
Yeah,
Hey, you know the Bengals made the Super Bowl when they were 10-7.
yeah. No,
I'm not saying
hey,
we're making the
here's
Super
the
Bowl.
deal.
I'm just saying
Call me
like
a fucking
that's a
madman.
good team record.
You call me a fucking madman.
Stop.
There's a way.
Stop right there.
There's a
Stop
way.
right there, son.
There's a way. Just saying. And if CJ Stroud turns it on, if CJ Stroud just flips that little, not that the switch hasn't already been flipped, but there's that CJ Stroud in his brain. There's a flip that switches from, hey, I'm on. And then there's bright lights prime time on for CJ Stroud. And so, yeah,
His first primetime game this year.
I know. I
His
know.
first primetime game this year. We don't even know how he's gonna fare in a primetime game this
No.
year. And last time he was in primetime, he tore it up.
Yeah.
He tore
You know
he
what I
tore up the
can't wait for?
Georgia
I
defense.
can't wait for those, like the pregame sit down interviews where and they're definitely going to have one with Stroud. They're absolutely going
Yeah.
to have one with Stroud where they're going to be sitting down and like someone's interviewing him and like just like looking at him like like just a one-on-one interview, and then we're going to cut to Joe and Troy talking about the season. So it's going to be phenomenal. Like I can't wait.
Oh, all right, all right.
All right, let's get into score predictions
You
and
have
get
score
out of here.
predictions? You have a score prediction?
No, but I can come up with one.
Yeah, I don't have one either because I was too
All
scared to
right,
make
I'll go
one.
first. I'll go first. Um,
I don't know what
30,
I almost don't want
35,
to give one.
35, 35, 31 Texans.
What?
Yeah.
Both of them going over 30?
Yeah. This is going to be a bloodbath of a game. It's absolutely going to be a bloodbath. I think CJ has 3 touchdowns and 301 yards.
Oh, you psycho. Any specific predictions?
I think Xavier Hutchinson goes for about 60, but like a good 60, like a 60 that's important. And I think
Oh,
Nico
all right.
goes for over 100.
Okay. All right. As much as it's fucking scary to say, the Texans will win this game.
Yeah,
uh, hey, disregard the shakiness in my voice. Just fucking, scared. I don't want to jinx it, dude. This is like, I almost want to reverse jinx it. I want to be like, no, Colts will blow us out.
I
No,
know you do. That's your
I will
thing.
say it. I'll say it for the brand.
Yeah.
Texans will win this game. I'll say 20 to 17.
Wow.
They
Okay.
cover. They
Okay.
cover. Yeah,
All right.
2017. Lot of good defense on either side of the ball, but also great coaching, great offenses, or maybe not great offenses this game, but a few great offensive plays. They'll score some points and it'll come down to the wire. They will
Mhm.
come down the wire. I think we went off a field goal. I think it's tied 17-17, and we kick and
Ooh.
Emi wins the
All
game
right.
for us
All right.
with time expiring.
I
And
also
that would
think
be
that
that would be the storybook ending. That would be the storybook ending
Yep,
to the regular season of the 2023 Houston Texans.
it would be. And I think here's a prediction that's a negative. I think Jonathan Taylor has a good day. I think Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor has like 105 yards rushing.
That means they would win.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
All
I
right.
think we can. I think we can
All right.
hold. And look, they're gonna like my score prediction. It's high scoring. I mean, they're gonna move the ball. Like they're gonna move the ball.
Well, we need to move the ball too. And I don't
I know
know.
it's what in my fucking score prediction. I said it's why it's 35-31.
All right, dang. Don't fucking yell at me, dude. Sorry, I'm fucking overstimulated right now. All right. Well, there you have it.
Yeah,
Those are score predictions. Are the score predictions for the final game of the regular season this year. What a ride. No matter what, proud of his team,
yep,
proud of the players, proud of the coaches, proud of the front office. What a great year for Houston Texans football,
yeah.
for the fans, for you and me. So hopefully we get. I mean, we will have the breakdown after, but hopefully it's a happy one.
Hopefully it's a happy
Or
one.
not.
Yeah, yeah,
If not, you'll see me and I won't be happy.
yeah.
Uh, let's
Yeah,
give a let's give a
we'll
quick
have our game review up probably on
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Yes.
And I'm
Let's
terrified. I'm so scared,
yeah.
dude.
Let's go ahead and fucking because I'm ready to get off camera and just go in my office and think about it and
Yeah.
just sulk. Uh, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors. Thank you, Celebrity Mint. Christmas is over. Doesn't mean you have to stop giving gifts to the people you love, especially
Hmm.
the sports lovers. Celebrity Mint, the Celebrity Mint on socials. They have the Mike Tyson trading coins, the Ric Flair trading coins, and all kinds of other memorabilia. So go check them out on socials. The Celebrity Mint. And shout out Big City Wings. Thank you, Big City Wings. Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Go watch it. Go watch the game at Big City Wings. They're gonna
Yeah.
have beer specials. They're gonna have food, great service. Go try their fucking delicious appetizers, man. So thank you, Big City Wings. Thank you, Celebrity Mint, for sponsoring this episode of Off the Gridiron.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And guys, make sure if you enjoyed the episode and the show, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Lets us know that you like what we're doing. Also, Texans fans, big week. We all know, guys. Let's hear it in the comments section. I want to hear all y'all's thoughts, score predictions, predictions for certain performances from specific players, just everything. All your thoughts on this game. It's a huge one of the bigger games in the honestly, I mean, Texans franchise history, but also definitely in the last 3 or 4 years. So. Really excited to see what y'all have to say. Me and Garrett will be down there in the comments responding and chit chatting. So we hope to see you there. Also, follow us on Twitter at Apollo Texans and at Apollo HOU to keep up with all the Texan stuff and also Houston sports in general. It's a lot of fun over there, so make sure you follow us all over there. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
Watch Texans win the game, please.
Please God.